Hey, welcome to the Overshare Pamphlet. My name is Rob, and I'm the host of this one-man show. First episode of February. Thank God January's done and gone. Cause, what the fuck? Like, what a crazy month. Honestly, too long. I've never experienced such a long January. Honestly, my whole life. So, yeah. Also, once again, sorry for my voice. Was out. I had probably the craziest weekend of my whole life. Like, it's been a long time since I had this kind of weekend. Um, Thursday went out, pub night, easy, chill, not too bad. Friday went to Swiftogeddon, which is the Taylor Swift themed club night. They just play Taylor Swift songs. We usually go with my friends all the time, so yeah. Yeah, so you can imagine already club night until one a.m. or something. I can't remember what time we came back home, but yeah. Then yesterday, Saturday, when I'm recording this, is Sunday today, but yeah, yesterday, had two birthday parties, one after the other. So I have been drinking since Thursday non-stop, and yesterday specifically, I started drinking at 11, 12 p.m. onwards until, I don't know, I got back home at 1 or something. So you can imagine my status today. It's not, surprisingly, I'm not too dead, but yeah, my voice is gone, man. It's gone. Either way, today we're talking about, let's just move on. You know what I mean? Today we're talking about two very cute topics, very interesting ones. The first one is actually dramatic as fuck. Now I just wanted to have a little bit of a rundown of what's going on with Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion, just for the giggles. There's not gonna be too long of a segment for that one, because also my second segment is going to be revisit of Melodrama by Lorde. So it's gonna be a full track by track type of situation. We're gonna go back into it just because, yeah, I had fathomings basically, and I had to jump on a mic. Had to go on the mic and share my thoughts because I think it's just an album that everyone loves. From Lorde, it's a generally acclaimed album by her. So yeah, of course you can follow me on every social media that you fucking know, apart from Twitter, because Twitter is I decided to step out of Twitter after my last episode. I decided to boycott, so you can now find me on Threads. Everything will be in the description anyways for this episode, but usually my Instagram, my Threads are at robscal, so at ROBSCAL .jpg. I always struggle saying JPG, I don't know why, but yeah, follow there, follow me there. But yeah, before that, songs of the week, you know what's up. Okay, first song is "If You Let Me" by Alina Baraz. Alina Baraz, queen of R&B, duh. Every single song she does is just pure slayage, basically. But "If You Let Me" is one of those sexy ones that she does, typical sexy R&B songs that she does. But it's just so infectious, so moody and vibey, and you can literally vibe to it. It's just such a good track. I honestly couldn't care less when it came out. I don't know. Personally, I didn't even bother to check because I just came across it. I'm not with Elena Baraz. I don't search out when she does new music, but whenever I do art, when I listen to some R&B, I just go to her playlist and shuffle it and see what comes out because she's so good. Every song she does is just magic, you know. But yeah, If You Let Me, incredible. There's the little guitar in the back. It's just very, moody, sexy kind of song. If you want to feel sexy, if you want to feel in a mood, listen to "If You Let Me" by Alina Baraz. She eats every time, So yeah, that's the one. Second one, "I Can't Catch You" by Sixpence None the Richer. So listen up. I don't know what the fuck is happening to me, but I've been, well, I never listened to Sixpence None the Richer, but ever since that song "Kiss Me," that I said in last episode, was it last episode? Probably. I was like, oh hell yeah! I'm I need to find out more about about this band. So yeah, here I am. I found this one in the same album. Yeah. Also, very personal song, I guess. Like the content speaks to me because it's literally what I'm going through right now. So, and also, I want to jump in another thing before I move on to the next track. Here's the issue with me recording on a on a Sunday. Sorry, because the whole week I feel a certain way, like a very specific way, like frustrated, annoyed, fucked up because of a certain someone, I guess. And then out of nowhere, because I'm able to interact in some shape or form, I just switch my mood around for the, well, technically for the better, but not really for the better, because I know then I'm gonna go down again. So yeah, like if I recorded this like yesterday or something, I was probably gonna be like super pissed, super annoyed, and all that. But today I'm just like waking up and feeling like jolly, which is like the worst thing ever because it's just delusion, delusion, girl, delusion, delusion. But anyways, third song of the week. Let's just move on from that. Is X's by Tate McRae. I know this song came out ages ago now, but I don't care. Like, I never really got this much into the song until actually this Friday. I was like, I need something to put me in a good mood before going out. I need to like feel like, I need to feel myself, I need to like be going out. I need to be confident and I need to like recuperate from my terrible week. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was like, Tate McRae, I know she has my back. And I was like, let's give this song another shot. And girl, oh, like Tate McRae, just right after Selena Gomez, in my opinion, have some of the biggest like big dick energy ever, basically. Like, come on, are you kidding me? Like, this song is, what do I say? Kisses to my exes. Who, what was it? Who don't give a shit about me. Kisses to the next ones who think they can live without me. Like, come on, big dick energy. Like, come on, incredible. That song is just pure, like, cockiness, and I love it. I'm sure you must have heard, like, you must have heard of it or listened to it once at least or something, because it's been on the radio. It has quite a lot of streams already on Spotify as well. So, but if you want to feel like yourself, you want to feel like a bad bitch, listen to X's by Tate McRae. She did that. If you want to feel like a bit messy in that sense, because it is a messy song, to be fair. Kisses to my exes who don't give a shit about me. Kisses to the next ones. Oh, come on. Yeah, listen to that one. It's just so good. Yeah. Do I have any other song of the week? No, I think I could include this one, but I'm not gonna do that. You know what? I think it's good enough. It's a good. I'm satisfied with this with this run of tracks. So yeah, there you go. These are the songs of the week. Hope you guys give them a shot. I'm gonna start the February playlist with this episode when it comes out, so you can check it out. And I'll put it out in the more like this section on Spotify, or you can just search for it on Spotify. I'll call them, of course, like the playlist is gonna be called, of course, like the Overture pamphlet, songs of the week, and I'm gonna put like a dash saying like February or something. So you guys can check it out. Can have a little look what's going on. So yeah, like that's what's up. That's what's up. These are the songs that I've been listening to, and I'm ready. Honestly, I'm ready to move into the first topic. Will I even do a transition? Probably not, because this is going to be like a quicker one. So I'm just going to get into it, actually. You know what I mean? And then I'll do a transition for the second one, because the second one is low-key my favorite story today. So I'm going to give it spotlight. But yeah. First off is a roundup drama, I guess. We're going to have to get all the girlies together and go to therapy or something. But yeah, people in rap are constantly, of course, beefing. And doesn't surprise me in a way, because I know that's the culture basically. So yeah, I think that's a good actually a good place to start. I think that's the usually the culture in hip hop, in rap. It's a culture of competition, being the best one, and it's also I think I personally think sometimes it's also for the PR aspect of it all. Like, yes, back in the days, rappers used to have real beef. Like, they used to like go guns for the throat. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. But I think this element of like beef and like how to say, like, competition and always being on, like, position and all that stuff. I think eventually there was a turning point where they thought of, oh, maybe it can actually be like lucrative in that sense. And I think the most, in my opinion, the most obvious moment was, for example, when Cardi B and Nicki Minaj started beefing for the first time ever. The reason why they beefed in the first place, I think there was some drama with like the verse on Motorsport, was it? What was the song? Motorsport? I can't remember. That was the first and only collaboration they did, Cardi and Nicki, and it was like a song with like Future or something, or like the Migos. Was it the Migos? Probably something like that. But I think basically what happened back then, and you guys need this context because it's very much related to like the Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj beef that we're gonna get into. But basically, I think what happened was Nicki at the time with Cardi B for that song submitted a verse, and I think that then she wanted to, well, scrap the verse last minute and change it up, because, well, turns out they were gonna give like Cardi B a verse. By the way, Cardi B doesn't usually write her verses. Like, she doesn't write her raps at all. So I think there's also like a sort of like struggle, that not struggle, but you know what I mean, like a precedent for beef for Nicki, because Nicki instead like is a classic, I guess, rapper who writes everything and all that stuff. While with Cardi B, you had the first she sort of pioneered the reciter type of pop star, like a rap star, I guess, in that sense. Like someone who doesn't actually write, but recites basically what other people write for her and just makes bangers, which I don't think there's anything wrong with per se. It's more on the pop star adjacent kind of situation, not really like a real rapper in that sense. But yeah, she found a market for that. She found a market for that and opened the gates for something even more, like a lot of young black women who, instead of like having maybe a talent for writing specifically, they have more of a knack in performing and all that stuff. So I don't think there's necessarily like a bad thing, but I think Nicki definitely must have felt some type of way when she found out this girl was having so much success in that sense, but with no like writing skills, which arguably some people would argue that it's the most required skill in rapping, because you need to rap with your own verses and your own stuff. Like, could you even, I don't know, do like a freestyle? No, you can, or something like that. But I personally don't mind. I love some Cardi B songs. Like, some of them are lit, honestly. Like, there's some good bangers there. So, to me it doesn't matter, because to me, well, it really depends on what you're looking for when you listen to music in general, I think. But my main point is that, like, I, for example, care more about the actual song than the actual artist, to be fair. Like, I know that is a big conversation in terms of like separating the art from the artist in a way, but I personally, if the song is good or the art is good and the art is like incredible, I'll consume the art. I don't really personally care about the artist, unless of course there's something completely wrong with the person. So then I would need to stop supporting that person by not engaging with their art and giving them a revenue or something. But if it's just like these kind of like, petty things or like stupid little details, I don't care. As long as, even if it's a commercial song that it was like produced by 100 producers and 100 writers and all that stuff, like, if it sounds good, man, I'm putting it on. I don't care. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my truth. But I can understand where Nicki sort of was coming from in feeling some type of way about it. And also, the beef itself was very much, I think, artificial. Like, it was an artificial beef. Like, it was created out of thin air from Cardi B's label, mostly because they realized that the best way to gain a lot of support and a lot of audience in that sense is to go against the big dogs. And by big dogs in female rap at the time was just Nicki Minaj, basically. So, and the Barbs are one of the biggest, basically, fandoms ever. So they found like a great business strategy in like using basically beef and like generating you know some sort of chatter and engagement in that sense through someone else's fandom. Basically, they're outsourcing her fandom to even for hate purposes, but it's even like streams anyways. So they don't really care about that. So she got a big launch point because of that. I think personally, like her career wouldn't have been as big after Bodak Yellow if it wasn't for the beef with Nicki Minaj. I think Bodak Yellow would have been like a one-off thing, and that's it. That combined with like good links in the industry, like she got some great collaborations, like the Maroon 5 and Bad Bunny and all that stuff. So yeah, that. But also, I think the audience came in because of the attention in that sense. So that's the premise. That so they had also physical and fights. I think what was it? The mat? What was it? Not the mat. There was some sort of I can't remember what event it was, but it was a fashion event or something. And Cardi and Nicki got into a physical fight for real. Well, Nicki didn't touch her, I think, but one of the bodyguards gave her a knob on her head, and yeah, and Cardi walked out with a fucking huge knob, like a ginormous knob on her head. Anyways, that to me, like that to that point, when it got to that point, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like we're getting like, I love the drama, I love the pettiness and the firing shots and like drugging people in songs and all that. But when we get to that, to like physical altercations and all that stuff, it's just too much. Like it's just too like childish. Like just I don't know. Personally, don't like that. But yeah, I think that was a good premise because basically what then happened, as I said, like the gates opened up for many other rappers because of Nicki and because of Cardi and all that. So many new rappers came into the picture, female rappers, because male rappers have always been around, I guess, but female rap was in a drought before Nicki and then Cardi and then all these other people. So one of the newer female artists coming up was Megan Thee Stallion, of course. And Megan was signed with, well, I think now she changed label to Warner Music or something, but she was signed with Roc Nation. Maybe she's still signed with that, but I don't know. Maybe distribution only is with Warner, but I don't know. But basically, she signed with Roc Nation, which is Jay-Z's label, and also Beyonce's, she's under there. But anyways, like, doesn't really matter. Yeah, so she was initially, I remember being praised for being a real rapper. You know what I mean? Like for writing her stuff, being like a girl from the streets, from Houston, Texas, and writing her own stuff, and just having also very good talent. She could like do some freestyles. It was just incredible. So people were tuned in because of the talent. She was a very young. Honestly, she was very young actually when she popped up for the first time, I think. But yeah, so and the interesting thing about Megan is that she also in the meantime went to college while she was doing also rap as a full-time job, I guess. So she also got a degree now, which is honestly so good. But anyways, eventually, like Nicki does, she reached out. Nicki does, I think she does love reaching out to newer rappers which she thinks that are worth it or generating a buzz that is like good. You know what I mean? Hold up. Someone from Hinge just texted me. Oh my god, Hinge. I'm kidding. No, actually, yeah, someone did text me, but I'm gonna reply later. I'm gonna act coy. You know what I mean? Anyways, what was that? I'm gonna reassess. So I was saying, yeah, Nicki does love jumping on tracks with like newer artists who are, in her opinion, worth it or supposedly writing. She believes they're talented or all that stuff. So she jumped on the Megan Thee Stallion train in that sense. Not that she needed to jump on the train, but you know what I mean. Like she wanted to collab. So they did the one and only song they did was Hot Girl Summer, and I think it was Ty Dolla Sign or something as well in there. But anyways, that song, in my opinion, was fire. Never really got the traction that it deserved. I don't know exactly why. Maybe there wasn't any push, to be fair. I think actually Megan didn't. I can't remember if their label didn't actually promote it. But anyways, was interesting because it was a very like summery bop and it was a slay. But yeah, nothing much happened. Now, words on the street say that because of the not like big success that Megan maybe was hoping for, but these are just hearsays, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, the streets say that she was not happy with the song performing that poorly, and she switched up and went to the Cardi B camp, and that's when WAP, whereas Coochie, whereas you know what I mean, yeah. That's when WAP was a thing, basically. That's when he became a thing. So she switched to the Cardi B camp, and many people believe that that was the final straw for Nicki, because by that time they were still having beef. I mean, they still probably do, but Cardi, I think she's slowly but surely like fading into irrelevance, so whatever. But yeah, at the time when Cardi was also very big, they did WAP. WAP was a huge success, of course, as you can tell. And yeah, so ever since then, they never interacted anymore. They never did. The weird thing was, though, that before Megan jumped on the Cardi B song, when she was still with Nicki, friends with Nicki, she dissed Cardi B. She had some things to say about Cardi B on lives with she went on, like, I think on one live also with Nicki Minaj, and she talked shit about Cardi B as well. So you can tell that, you know, I don't want to, of course, like, you know, this is like very gray and white situation, because at the end of the day, it's just like we don't know the actual truth of what goes on behind closed doors. But from these facts, you can tell like Megan was, you know, a bit of a switching cam type of girl, but also she was a very young performer, so I don't really know if I could blame her for that. So yeah, in the meantime, Megan apparently eventually gets in a relationship with Cardi B's ghostwriter, Partisan Fontaine. And yeah, there was a bit of a like situation there as well. Apparently, she, according to Partisan Fontaine, at least, she cheated multiple times. And yeah, so there was a bit of an info, so interesting. Also, probably why like, you know, Partisan Fontaine is not writing for Cardi B anymore, because he doesn't want to be associated with the two of them anymore. Damn, I'm really dying here, man. But anyways, so yeah. So what happens in the meantime, though? Like, so this is when Nicki basically was still not back from her hiatus, I guess. Like, because she in the meantime, Nicki was pregnant, she had a child and all that stuff. But yeah, Cardi was having a moment with Megan and all that stuff. Then, like, after a while, there's a big debacle that leads to basically an assault. Basically, Megan Thee Stallion and this other rapper, Tory Lanez, by the way, they were involved in an incident in 2020. He is now has been in prison for allegedly shooting her on a foot. After the Kylie Jenner house pool party. So yeah, I think they were going away or something, and he shot her on the foot in the car. Probably, we don't have, exact, you know, details on the dynamics of how he went down. But that was a terrible, 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 terrible event. He's jailed now, which is okay. Finally, it took a while actually for him to get jailed, I think. But yeah. So now the thing here is that allegedly, um, Tory Lanez and was also, well, smashing, I guess, Megan's best friend. But allegedly, words say that Megan also smashed Tory Lanez. So there was a bit of a weird situation. We don't know exactly why that happened. Um, yeah, it was an argument, and in the car, that's when basically the injury happened. But I don't think we know for a fact what actually, like, what was the how to say, like, the actual argument about. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So it's still to this day unclear, even though he was jailed, why all this thing happened. Not to say like that there could be like any crazy like theories behind it, but you know, yeah. So that's a big situation. And when that happened, some rappers actually took the defense of Tory Lanez, and they believed him that. Well, there's even theories that she might have shot herself and blamed him or something. There's crazy theories out there, so I'm not gonna get into exactly what the theories are because I don't know until there's like actual proof or exact clarity of what happened. I'm not gonna speak my truth on it. But he was jailed for it, so the court probably like the court found him guilty specifically because he was carrying a weapon unauthorized. So that definitely does not look good on him. But yeah, as I said, like some rappers did not like what like in the they must have like some inner inner chats or whatever it is. But they yeah most of the rappers actually tried to side with Tory Lanez, that which is very interesting, like very interesting to me, including Nicki Minaj and a lot of other rappers who also like sent notes to the court, trying to like get some pardon for him. But yeah, that was the big situation. So yeah, Megan, after the whole like, because of course this brought like like a flood of media attention on her and everything else. It was just like a crazy situation. I remember, even like literally, she just returned to music now after all that with Cobra first and then his. Now this is the thing. In the meantime, Nicki was killing it. She came back with Super Freaky Girl and then Pink Friday 2. She sold so many units, and then she did also the Barbie thing, the Barbie song, and it was a full moment. But yeah, so what happened was Megan. No, actually, to be fair, it was clear that Nicki was happy with Megan behind the scenes, because even like to this day, or like even when she came back with the new album and everything else, because she started like sending shots towards Megan in her songs. One of the most clear examples is in Red Ruby Does Lee's. She says she doesn't fuck with horses. Horses. I think. Oh yeah, she doesn't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeves, which is of course a shot at her because and then she gives a a moment of pause, a moment of that in the song, which is like of course to even highlight even more the shade, but. Yeah, also like it's about her specifically because like she's Megan the Stallion, like she, you know what I mean, like easy to decipher in that sense. It's about her, but anyways, Nicki in other songs she kept on like sending shots, and it was clear that Nicki was not on her side, and Megan took her sweet time and she came back, of course, with the songs, and in his finally she started drugging a bit everyone, so yeah, like including Nicki Minaj. In the song she also mentions Megan's Law, which is a law in the US that is against child let's just say child abusers. I don't want to actually say the word, but you know what I mean. And why is this a big thing? Well, allegedly Nicki Minaj's, well, not allegedly, he has charges actually. He had charges for, Nicki Minaj's husband had charges for, that. Let's just say that, for that specific thing. So, yeah. So it's not looking good. But this was a known thing. It was always been like, So the odd thing about that I think about anytime I think about Nicki is that no one ever has any dirt specifically on her, like about crazy things that she's done, but it's always mostly about her husband. Now, with all due respect, if you do marry someone who's like that, then I don't know, that's problematic per se, but it also, in my opinion, means doesn't mean that she committed the crime herself. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're married to some crazy dude, but it doesn't mean that you're actually, you know, a shitty person yourself. So it's a bit of a gray area there as well, I think. But anyways, Megan decided to fire back, but Nicki was not happy with her family being dragged. And Nicki went on a frenzy like a week ago on Twitter saying the most crazy things ever, and she previewed another song where she literally said that Megan should get up. She called her big food, called her like asking her to like get on her good food, and you know what I mean. Like there were so many like very graphic shot, like drags towards her accident and all that, which in my opinion, like you can. I understand the sending shots and all that stuff, and she's like, if you go low, I go lower. But joking about a serious accident is quite crazy. I think personally, I wouldn't have been too mad about it if she just did the song and that's it. But I think the problem was that she went on a huge frenzy and she literally made herself look like a fool. You know what I mean? Like very childish, very like moany and all that stuff. Like in my opinion, if you wanna throw shots, just do it in a song like you're supposed to do, and that's it. And in my opinion, even like apart from all the things that have been said online and all that stuff, yes, she's the queen of rap. She should know that. She should of course know her worth. But I don't think she necessarily should not respond to these people. I think that's the whole game about rap, in my opinion. So the sending shots, it's totally fine on songs, but I think what's worse is just engaging like a child on Twitter with all these like long tweets and like professing to drop the receipts of like what dirt she has on her and all that stuff is just, well, I mean, I do want to know, to be fair. I do want to know the drama, but you know what I mean. It's just, dude, she could have done so much better. Now she's looking like a petty woman, you know what I mean? So not a good look on Nicki personally, but yeah, that was a whole debacle. People were sending shots back and forth. Now what's even worse is that her fans, unprompted to be fair, went to Megan's mom's gravestone and started defiling it and all that stuff. It's just like crazy shit. It's just insane stuff that's going on right now. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, like what's the status of our culture, man? Of our pop culture, like insane. And this all happened in January. Like, yes, January was a slow month, but even then, first month of the year, they already give us so much content. So I kind of love that. But apart from everything else, it's just, girls, y'all need to calm down and just, how about eventually we just squash the beef? Like, this beef has been going on for so long, for years and years. And I think also it's a stupid thing on Nicki that she should realize that if you give so much media attention, I don't think the song itself, like, you just dropped the song, I don't think people would have cared about his as much. But I think the mere fact that she looked so pressed in tweets and all that stuff, like she was in a frenzy and all that, gave Megan even more of a push. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like, the beef is, if anything, is helping Megan a lot. It's a strategy. I mean, I'm sure there must be real beef behind it, but yeah, like this is clearly also a business move. Like you cannot deny that. Like literally, and it's benefiting Megan. So yeah, but yeah, weird things were coming out, saying, for example, Nicki said like the Megan told her that she should have, when she was pregnant, that she should have, like drunk alcohol to kill her child, basically, which is insane. But that, and also allegedly she lied on her mom's name or something, on Megan lied on her own mom's name or something. interesting like things, and apparently there's even more Nicki knows that she hasn't shared with us. And it's just there's a lot of stuff, a lot of gray areas, I think. But I think from a like a purely like behavioral standpoint, Nicki now is making it look like he's making it look like she's pressed, and it's not a good look on her in that sense. While Megan is passing as the unbothered queen and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think Nicki should have stuck with her song and that's it, without necessarily engaging with all this thing. Because also she's helping her opposition now. So you know what I mean. I personally don't care about the beef itself because to me it's just content. I love it, but I just think you know it's just funny to watch. I'm seated, but I just don't like seeing people act childish. That's the truth. That's my only truth. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I hope in a perfect world they can eventually squash the beef because damn, like girl, that's insanity. But who knows if they ever will? Who knows? I mean, probably it will benefit Megan for a while, and Nicki will have to go in hiding for a bit and to just like calm the waters and all that stuff, instead of like engaging even more with comments and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, I hope you like this like drama session, this roundup, and yeah, let's get into the next story, which is a bit of a more not serious, but a more fun one. I think an interesting one, like a less dramatic one, hopefully. Yeah, it's gonna be my revisit of Melodrama by Lorde. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, we are back. Yes. So, also had to take a little break because I was dying. Like, I had to get some other coffee because I was literally about to die. I die. But anyways, yeah, we're here. We're here, like finally with my favorite portion of the episode, which is revisiting Melodrama. Melodrama is the sophomore studio album by Lorde. Lorde, you might know her as the girl who sang Royals. I will never be Royals. Yeah, definitely. That song was super, super famous, and and the album I think was also super famous, I guess, when it came out, that first album. But yeah, but this album it's been almost 7 years since Melodrama. This is the album we're talking about, the second one. I'm here to revisit. So yeah, it's been almost 7 years since Melodrama came out, and I am so excited to do this. 7 is one of my lucky numbers, actually, so I think that I have to do this review already because of that. But the other thing is that, well, this week, basically, I was, while I was working from home, I was listening to my special Lorde playlist that I have, where I put Lorde songs and all the other songs from other artists that sound like it, or like are influenced by it. And yeah, I just had a realization or fathoming that I was like, oh my god, I think I love this song, like this album so much. Like, it's just so crazy that I'm consistently listening to this album, even after 7 years after its release. And I'm not like simply talking about a couple of songs, but the entire album. Like, this rarely happens to me. There are just maybe a couple of albums I can count on my hands that I listen to time and time again. Melodrama is that special. Like, literally, it's like up there with, like, I don't know, 1989 by Taylor Swift, or Ultraviolence by Lana Del Rey, probably. There's just so much like good stuff in this album that is just incredible. Just incredible. Melodrama is just, through these years, I have come to realization that it's not only for its super avant-garde production. I think it's a very experimental album that at the time it was also super experimental, but and of course its soundscape and everything else, but also because it was so forthcoming in a way. Like, it was it reverbs, like the reverbs of his album, like you can still hear them in other artists' work today. Clearly inspired by melodrama. For example, I don't know, one of the biggest examples I can find is, for example, Olivia Rodrigo. She's definitely a Lorde girly, specifically a melodrama girly, but yeah, like even bigger artists, like they're still like Taylor Swift, for example, still influenced by melodrama so much, and there's plenty of like smaller artists as well that like try to replicate the same sound, I guess, or vibe, and it's just like that influential, So yeah, I think this album specifically is truly Lorde's legacy, perhaps even more than Pure Heroin, like her debut. It's a one of a kind type of album, in my opinion. The production of his album at the time, like when 2017, when it came out, it felt very odd and innovative. Like, and to a certain extent, I still feel like it is years into the future compared to even today's music. So it's that like avant garde in my opinion, but I think after first listening to it, like with time, I really digested the songs, and they keep on aging so well. For the most part, I think like they don't feel dated at all. Most of the songs there, so which is an incredible feat. Like if majority of your album doesn't feel dated, it's just crazy, like crazy good. But yeah, with time, I really appreciate it even more and more and more and more. And it's such an influential album that like you know I can literally point out in some songs where I think some other artists took inspiration from. But yeah, so basically, what happened before Melodrama was pure heroin, as I said. Lorde left us with her debut album with a very well executed vision of urban teenage life and unspoken realism about yeah, basically youth in the suburbia, basically, right? So there was no specific talk about like love, about her own life or whatever specific. Like it wasn't specific to her per se. It was a more like social commentary and a very like resonating type of album that everyone at the time loved for a reason. Also, I replied to what was going on with the music around us, which was basically at the time it was party songs and just feeling good and all that stuff. Well, this was more like a rejection to that and like a more of like embracing realism and what was actually going on in society, like instead of trying to view life with pink glasses all the time. You know what I mean? Pink lenses. But yeah. So, and of course, the debut album Pure Heroin was super successful, partly because of the explosive success of Royals, its lead single, but also, after that, she kept on having a great buzz around her, also because of her age. She was super young when she released that. So, she was like, I think, was she like 17 or something? Or 18? I don't know. Like, she was so young. But yeah, expectations for this album were super high. And I think no one could predict this kind of a, like direction in a way. Like after Pure Heroin, Lorde literally created melodrama out of a very painful breakup. It is a breakup album basically. It's a lot like a full timeline of a love story in my opinion. Like it's so well thought out, and even the track list, the way it's ordered, is just so smart. But yeah, she went from this like realism or suburbia and all that stuff to a very personal like it's the first time we hear Lorde being personal on this album ever, like in general. She's never done anything like this. But yeah, and of course the she in like the name of the album itself, Melodrama, is a way of like depicting what a sort of like romanticized version of like this violent love and you know prone to breakup kind of love. You know what I mean? It's just a melodramatic story, like a typical melodramatic story about two lovers who fall in love deeply and then they're bound to break up in a way. You know what I mean? Very, very cool. So as I said, like she depicts a very glamorized and at times violent and intense and extremely passionate and litigious love affair. She truly gives us a very detailed overview of the feelings she went through, and then there are some moments in the album where she goes back into her pure heroine like bag in terms of creating a generalized mood. You know what I mean? Like a generalized, I guess, like analysis of society and all that stuff about teenage love in this sense. but not teenage love because she wasn't a teenager anymore. But you know what I mean, like young love. Let's just say that. Yeah. Um, so yeah, all of this communicated through an incredible writing, an impeccable delivery, and a lot of quirky vocal flourishes, and most of all, a vibe check provided by the one and only Jack Antonoff. Like he produced, main producer on the album. He did the thing. But before we get into the tracks, I want to spend a couple of seconds, just a couple, to appraise the cover art. The cover is a painting of Lorde herself, made by her friend Sam McInnes, an abstract painter. The main colors of the album are blues and purples. Please take a look at it. It's just beautiful. It's probably one of the best covers I've ever seen. It's just gorgeous. And fun fact, the color scheme for the cover art was chosen by Lorde herself because basically Lorde has this condition called synesthesia, which is a condition that makes your senses overlap. So, for example, some sounds make you see certain colors, for example, which is what happened to Lorde. So when she was re-listening to the full album when it was done, these are the colors that she kept on seeing because of their synesthesia while she was listening to her tracks. So yeah, it's literally like a visual representation of the album itself. Incredible stuff. So yeah, the color palette there is just beautiful. But yeah, that's just the 2 seconds that I want to spend on because I think it is one of the coolest things I've ever heard of. So yeah, let's get a bit more into the tracks now. So we start off with Green Light. Green Light is the perfect opener in my opinion and the best place to start for the entire album. It was also the first single off of the album, and I completely understand why, because the song is just like a great mood setter for the rest of the album. Both as an opener and as a first single, I think they work so well. Like it gives a clear message about what the album is going to be about. It gets you pumped, and as well, like is like you got ravenous about what's to come next. You know, it's also one of the songs that doesn't feel dated at all. I think I could still be listening to this in 10 years and say, "Yup, it's a banger." So yeah, Lorde in the song is desperate for a green light, a sign, some new lover, or just something to make her move on from her previous relationship. So immediately you know that it's like she's gone through a breakup and she's but still in 1 foot into the ex relationship. You know what I mean? So she's stuck. She wants to she wants to let go of this ex, but she can't do it quite yet. Basically, she says, one of the lyrics is, "Oh honey, I'll come get my things, but I can't let go. I'm waiting for that green light. I want it." You know. It is an anthem for change and for turning basically a new leaf, but not being able to quite move on. And so it's like feeling stuck in the middle, basically, yeah? The drums, the piano, just, they go absolutely nuts. It's like this very traveling sound, like this piano throughout the entire song is just, like it goes, dun 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 dun. It's just so good. Yeah, like, it gives also, I think also the way it's like produced in a way, it gives that sense of urgency, like that it's perfectly like reflected in the lyrics as well. So it's like something that like you feel the earnestness, like to just try to move away from a relationship, like being desperate for a sign that you can just finally move on, but you cannot do that quite yet. Even her delivery is just like so almost enraged at times. So she's like she's waiting for the green light, man. She wants to go but she can't quite yet, you know. Favorite lyric is probably the opening line. Like Lorde has some of the best opening lines ever. Like she's an opening line girl. But yeah, in this song, it's the line is, "I do my makeup in somebody else's car. We order different drinks at the same bar." Like this is immediately the opening. Like it's just the way it opens the song, and it's just genius. It tells you in 2 seconds what is going on, and to me that's like lyrical masterfulness. You know what I mean? Like she's with someone else, but still thinking about her ex. Still goes to the same places, but not with him. The drinks line is just too real. Like you go to the same bar that you used to go together, but with like taking different drinks, which means that you're there with probably different people. You know what I mean? So it's just that good. I'm so passionate about this song. It's just so good. But yeah, so this opens up the album. But what she does next is a bit of like a reverse, right? So she gives you like a mood check of what she's going through while she was writing the album with Green Light, and then she goes back to the beginning. So when they first fell in love, right? So we have the second song, which is Sober. This song is about getting wild with your first encounter with a lover. You know, like you're at a party, like you're both intoxicated a bit, and you start hitting it off super well. But in the back of her head, like in the back of her mind, oh my god, I literally said the word ages that in the back of her head. But yeah, in the back of her mind, she's thinking like she has this like daunting feeling that like it's literally a line in the song as well. Like she's thinking about what would happen in the song when oh, sorry at the end of the night when they're both sober. You know what I mean? Like it's so real. Thank you for that. Very rarely see these types of stories. Like she's having a blast, but at the same time she's overthinking and saying like, "Oh, is this only because we're both intoxicated, or does this person actually like me? Like, what will we do when we're sober?" That's the line that keeps on like repeating itself throughout the entire song. Like she keeps on singing, and then there's like this haunting little line. But what will we do when we're sober? It's just, wow, chef's kiss. And yeah, the song is very brassy. There's a lot of brass here, a lot of trumpets. It gives the song a sense of like grandiousness, a bit like it's just like a celebration of a crazy meetup, basically, right? Like some sort of like hymn to the two lovers, basically, right? I love the line, but what will we do when we're sober? That's my favorite, one of my favorite lines. It's just creeping through the song, is just haunting her, basically. Um, but yeah, so you can sort of understand that she's trying to mask her doubts about the person with alcohol, basically, right? But yeah, it's a great banger. I love the pre-chorus as well. Actually, probably actually never mind. The pre-chorus is my favorite line. She says, "But my hips have missed your hips, so let's get to know the kicks. Will you sway with me? Will you sway with me? Go astray with me?" That's so toxic. I love it. Like, it's just genius writing. My hips have missed your hips. Let's get to know the kicks. Will you sway with me? Will you go astray with me? You know what I mean? Like, she knows that it's a fatal attraction, right? It's just crazy. I love that. Yeah. So yeah, track two, crazy, good song. Love it. Next is Homemade Dynamite, and it's maybe one of the more positive tracks on the album. Like she's so quirky with the delivery here as well. Yes, like she goes into like for example, is that onomatopoeia? I think so. Yeah, like when she said like dynamite in the song, she says the dynamite, which the repetition of the D sounds like like a ticking clock before a bomb goes off, right? So it's just so clever. The delivery is just so nice. That's why like that's a secret sauce that Lorde uses. Sometimes he has these like this quirky like outtakes vocally or whatever it is, like flourishes and all that stuff. It's just so funny. But yeah, this song is probably about the beginning of the relationship as well. They're like so still we're progressing, right? Like they just met and all that stuff. Now, Homemade Dynamite, like they started to go out and they were getting to know each other, showing each other's best sides and telling each other's best lies, as she says. The production is once again very cool, very like synthy. The chorus just explodes. It's just so good, and the bridge. She goes like, "Now you know it's really gonna blow," and then she goes like, "Poof." She says like, and it's just it's such a quirky move, and I love it. The vocals are just layered also in the chorus so perfectly. Like there's so many harmonies I just love. It's just magic. So incredible work. Kudos to Lorde. Oh, now we get to probably one of, I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. Like it's maybe top three, maybe even top one. Like it has to be. I don't know. It's called the Louvre. And now this and it's been one of my favorite tracks since the beginning. So the Louvre is a more of a chill track, I guess, compared to the other three songs we had. It's more emotional, I would say, guitar heavy, but also so different from everything you've had so far. The Louvre is about Lorde falling more and more with the person. So like here we're like literally getting into like deep into our feelings with this person. Probably the same person she broke up with, in my opinion. But yeah, this encapsulates the feelings of falling deeper into your love story, and it has like some of the best lyrics in the whole album in my opinion. Like I could not choose a single one. Like the opening line, for example, will summer slipped us underneath our tongue? Our days and nights are perfumed with obsession. Although my wardrobe is on your bedroom floor. Use our eyes, throw our hands overboard. Like, bitch, Shakespeare could never do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So good. Or even the second verse, our thing progresses. I calling you come through, blow all my friendship to sit in hell with you. But we're the greatest. They'll hang us in the Louvre. Oh my god! Like, girl, she was like on. She must have been high when she wrote this shit. Cause where did she get the inspiration from? Like crazy behavior. I can't. Like, whenever I listen to a song, I'm swaying and hovering. Basically, I'm like literally in a different dimension. The chorus is so unusual but gorgeous. She doesn't actually sing much in the chorus. She goes like, broadcast the boom, 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 and make it all dance to it. And then it goes into like this instrumental with her vocal. And she keeps on repeating, broadcast the boom, 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 and make it more dance to it. And yeah, the production shifts from the chorus with this dreamy and confusing synth sound is just incredible. And, you know, like broadcaster boom boom boom, it means like broadcaster like heartbeat racing because of this person, right? And then, you know, means like she's putting on a song and she wants to like communicate that she's it's just beautiful that she's like in love. Oh, and I cannot finish this one without also talking about the outro, because this is a giant of outro, baby. Like violin, guitar, gorgeous fade, um just everything, you know what I mean? Sort of like what you hear in August by Taylor Swift, for example, at the end, like great like fade out album, for fade out like outro. Yeah, she ate it down, girl. This track is just incredible. Please go listen to it. She saved my year in 2017 with this song, and yeah, I'm happy to see that even after 7 years, I still appreciate it so much. And now girlies are finally getting a hand of this song. Like they're finally giving it justice. People are going to the Louvre, the actual museum, and doing like little TikToks there with the song. Is just so funny to see, honestly. Justice for the Louvre. Next we have Liability, and this is the switching point in the album. This is where they have the first proper fight, probably the breakup. Honestly, actually no, actually it is the breakup point basically. So if you cannot tell from the actual name of the song, it's a very sad one. Lorde finally gets to the breaking point of the relationship. She's crying in a taxi, going home, hurt for good, basically. She gets blamed for the breakup. She's told that she's poisoned, that she's a liability, a little too much for everyone to deal with, and so she retreats into herself, goes home to the only girl she's ever loved, as she says, and can care about herself, which is herself, right? It is literally so sad. Like, I cried the first time I listened to this song, I cannot lie. Like, it's a piano ballad, very stripped back, just gorgeous, very different from everything else, completely like stripped back, just piano. Lyrics are lyricking. Like, it's just a song about being used for entertainment and being quickly discarded once they become bored of you. Like, you know, I think she also said like she's the truth is like she's a toy that people enjoy until they like you don't work anymore. You know what I mean? It's just crazy good. And it feels so hard. Like it's just so relatable. I completely empathize with her. I feel the same way sometimes, and it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. So yeah, if you want to feel in a very sad mood, go listen to Liability. Euphoria also used the song to open the special episode of Jules, actually, and I think the song just from then on started getting like even more streams, and just she's one of the most streamed songs ever. So great, very grateful for that. Divulging the word of God, period. But yeah, so this is the breaking point, right? She breaks up with this guy. She's blamed for making things go to shit. That she's poisoned and all that stuff. So we transition into the next song, which is Hard Feelings / Loveless. I have to say this also is one of my top favorites ever of hers. Like probably, yeah, as I said, like my top 3 or something. It's a 6-minute track, but it's like split in 2 songs. So it's Hard Feelings / Loveless because it's 2 songs in one, basically. So halfway through it, they switch between songs, which is great. Honestly, incredible, like genius move. It's just so interesting. And this is where we get into into the pure heroine bag. She has a more general approach to heartbreak when she gets to Loveless. But first, she starts off with Hard Feelings, where she ponders about the breakup, right? Hard Feelings is a portion that is like where she realizes that it's time to break up with your lover. It's just like, it's time to like have a clean break. It has a bit of that Louvre sauce in it, like in the sense that she's very emotional, but also like, swaying and all that stuff, just very moving. But once again, she compares her love affair with an endless summer. Like, she says like, it's time to let go of this like endless summer afternoon. That's how you know it's like about the same person. Like she constantly compares about like this relationship to like to Summer. It's just so romantic, honestly. Like, well, romantic, melodramatic, actually, yeah. And then yeah, she describes perfectly the hardships of coming to terms with it because it's quite difficult to accept that these are the hard feelings of love. Accepting that sometimes things cannot work out, and you have to let go for your own mental health. You know what I mean? For your whole sanity. It's just the bridge in this song as well in the hard feelings portion. It's just so fucking futuristic and crazy. Like nothing I've ever heard like before, and still to this day is so ahead of its time. I think it's just incredible. Wild shit for real. The outro of Hard Feelings as well is the best thing ever. Like she is just going into Loveless, but she has this entire portion where she goes into the basically you can tell she's like actually decided to let go of him of this guy. Let me actually read it out for you because it's poetic geniusness, you know, like you have to like you have to see what's going on, you know what I mean? So yeah. Oh my god, where is it at? Yeah, see, she goes into the outro saying like 3 years, loved you every single day, made me weak. It was real for me, yeah, real for me. Now I'll fake it every single day till I don't need fantasy, till I feel you leave. But I still remember everything, how we drift buying groceries, how you dance for me. I'll start letting go of little things till I'm so far away from you. So, oof, that one, like that's so real, so like so good. And yeah, then she goes to part two, which is Loveless in the same song. She switches around and she has a bit of a more like drum based song, like very cool stuff. Loveless is the more general part where she abstracts, like she after she ponders so much on the breakup, she can like have a proper, more general view of what's going on. Like she has like yeah she gives us basically a social commentary on like young people falling in love basically. So she goes into Loveless saying that our generation is just, you know, full of loveless people. Like we're the loveless generation. She warns every lover that our generation is so prone to breaking up that we become disillusioned with the idea of love itself, just like herself after the breakup. So she realizes that basically is just the way our generation works. It's just we become loveless because we're so on and off with everyone. It's just such a good way of putting it. But she also is very sarcastic, which I love in this portion. So good. Very masterful, such a clever idea. The combination of the two songs works so well. It's just a great ass song. And I love that it's 6 minutes because it doesn't feel like it, but it's just beautiful. Then after this, after the, you know, clean break, like the acceptance of the breakup, basically, this is where we go into Sober 2 Melodrama, the first time we acknowledge the title of the album. And it's so character heavy. Like this is like full of violence, but halfway through it switches to a trap beat. It's like the romanticized version of the whole relationship. Violent, fatal, a couple that achieves a legendary status, truly melodramatic song, like all the gunfights and the limelights and the fucking melodrama, that's what she says. It's so good. Oh, like it's like the legacy of the relationship, right? So she has like a little bit of like a roundup, like a summary of like their melodramatic relationship, right? It really gives you a feeling, like a feeling of iconicness, like, you know, like one of those like iconic but toxic couples, basically. I don't know, powerful, very powerful. But yeah, very very cool track. I think it's a good break from the two, like, you know, emotional songs as well. So really enjoyed that. Then we go into another sad song, which is Rider in the Dark. It's a very, I think it's the most meta song in the album. It's another piano ballad, very stripped back, but not necessarily a sad one. Well, it is. I think it is sad. Well, it is sad, but it's not as sad as Liability. Like it's more of a very meta track. It's a sort of like sad, but also sometimes ironic. Very funny. Like she mocks her ex by saying that Bet you rue the day you kissed the writer in the dark, as in herself, the writer is herself, because she's going to write songs about him, and it's going to be locked forever in her heart through her songs. Like he's gonna always be reminded about this relationship when he hears songs about her, like when he hears songs that she made. Yeah, so I truly feel like this was like in the Melodrama timeline when she decided that she wanted to do the album, because it's so meta. She's like, she realized, actually, you know what, I'm gonna lock you forever in my heart, and like, I'm gonna like, let my feelings out and write this album about our crazy ass relationship. You know what I mean? And then she gets to the chorus where she goes fully insane. Like she starts saying like, I am my mother's child. I'll love you till my breathing stops. I'll love you till you call the cops on me, and so on. Like you can tell now it's been some time since they separated, and she's still. He finds a new girl. She dedicates to her art, and she also gets remorseful at times, still thinking about him, like normal stuff. We all go through that. But there is a change. There is a change because she is like, there has been a change in our feelings and all that, and she knows that she's gonna do this album just to like set, to close a chapter. You know what I mean? That's my belief, that she made the song just to let us know that she decided to put all of her feelings into this album to close this chapter of her life. You know what I mean? So very cool. Well, she sings in a chorus. She sounds so almost sounds like she's about to cry or something. It's just insane. Like it's a cry for help, and I love that. Oh yeah. Here's also like another favorite lyric comes in. She says, I ride the subway, read the signs. I let the season change my mind. I love it here since I stopped needing you. Gorgeous. That's how you know she's, moved. Well, she's closed it. You know what I mean? She's closed the chapter. Man, people are doing works. But yeah, then she gets back to the chorus and reinforces it once again, in my opinion, that thanks to her art, she's able to cope and move on. And the track ends again with another beautiful Jack Antonoff outro. So gorgeous. Track number 9, we're almost at the end of the album. Just last 3 songs basically. The next one is another one of my absolute faves. It's the one and only Supercut. Supercut is the mother to all mothers. This is such a clever way to explain what broken up couples often do. After a while, basically she's gone. She's taking space away from all that. She is fighting her urges to reach out again. Basically, she's almost there. She goes into this little thought experiment where she tries to reach out for him, but then realizes that everything that she's she's just trying to remember the relationship, and she only remembers the good things, the positive memories and all that. But when she's about to reach him in this thought process, she realizes it is a supercut. It's just something that a cut that she made into her head, but she didn't actually. Well, she didn't actually forget the bad parts, but she's tricking herself into believing that only the good parts are the ones that matter. So you know what I mean? She plays fake scenarios where things are different or where she doesn't fuck it up, and she says in my head I do everything right. But yeah, when she starts to reach for him, she realizes it's just a supercut, and it's a version of what she actually went through. So yeah. The song has this traveling sound as well, very similar to Green Light and all that. So it's a very cohesive track as well. And just incredible synths, just repeated drum pattern. Just also the influence of this song is incredible, to the point that where many people recognize a lot of similarities between Melodrama and Midnight by Taylor Swift, because they're produced by the same person, to be fair, Jack Antonoff, but they have this very similar vibe. And also some of the new tracks on, the Volt tracks on the 1999 Taylor's version, there's a lot of that. And I think also there's a lot of that in some of Olivia Rodrigo's songs. There's a lot of that. It's just you can tell that this song could have been done by either of them. Actually, Supercut was interpolated in Mastermind, if I believe correctly. They both worked with Jack, so it makes sense. But yeah. And then there's also another fade out at the end. It's just beautiful, crazy good Jack Antonoff outros. And it blends with the next track, so it goes straight into the next one, which is Liability Reprise. So the title itself, what's up. She is going back to the Liability song, but she's flipping it around. This is where she realizes, actually, never mind. That was not the issue here. I need to stop blaming myself and letting someone else blame me for everything. We played both a part in this. you're not what you thought you were. Like, you know what I mean? This is why she keeps on saying to herself, like, you are not what you thought you were. You're not a liability. You are an amazing person. And, you know, she's breaking free finally from the inhibitions of this ex relationship, and she's finally able to look at the past with more of a critical eye. You know what I mean? She's free, I guess, from the haunting relationship for good. You know what I mean? That's the best part. It's a proper break free moment from the relationship. This is the point where she realizes that she's gone, like, you know, she's over it. You know, quite gorgeous. Very short track. It was a bit longer, but it's so good. And then we end with Perfect Places, which is completely unrelated, I guess, in a way, to the rest of the relationship. Like, she is like, she's looking for perfect places after, like, cleaning her ends of this relationship. She's looking for the next thing. You know, she's looking for perfect places to go to. You know, you know, go to escape, basically. You know what I mean? Go to another place, to a perfect place that she realized quickly that she could never find, because there are no such thing as perfect places. She has to realize that life is flawed in a way, and that, you know, it's all part of the human experience, you know. So I think also the song is a bit more also about, as well, generalized pure, like the pure heroin bag that she goes into sometimes. So yeah, it's about young people wanting to go to, like, you know, getting out of their mundane life and trying to distract themselves from the reality, and wishing to go to, like, perfect places and getting drunk and, you know, all that stuff, like trying to distract themselves from their reality, which is a depressing one, basically. But yeah, a generation that always looks for the next big thing, to feel at peace, never satisfied, always raging. But yeah, you know what I mean. But that's the beauty of it. The way it ends is just like, she says, like, what the fuck are perfect places anyway? You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as a perfect place. And it's just the way it ends. Like, she realizes that, you know what, maybe, yes, she'll never find, like, a perfect place, or she'll never feel, like, fully at peace, but that's okay. It's okay to feel this way. Like, it's normal. You know what I mean? You have to be okay with feeling like this, basically. But yeah, this was a crazy ride. Like, I love this album so much. We're listening to it so many times. When I was listening to the album so many times to make notes, it was just such a good breath of fresh air once again. It's just so beautiful. Like, it's one of those albums that I return to constantly, and I hope I managed to communicate my enthusiasm with you guys. And please do listen to it if you haven't, because I think it's one of the, like, it's critically acclaimed. It's a beautiful album, but I think also so many people don't, like, it's not a massive success as Pure Heroin was. It's not like a you know, commercial juggernaut, and it was never devised to be that, because it's like a very personal album that was very, like, experimental and influential. It's just crazy. It's a good like cult classic. So yeah, anyways, hope y'all have fun for this week. Stay strong, y'all got this. It's February now, so we can move on. And yeah, if you are celebrating Valentine's Day soon, slay. If not, you slay even more, because relationships suck. Just saying. Bye.